Hey y'all, welcome back. Go ahead and season this pot roast with me while I talk to y'all about my grandmother and the bird that we used to have. Funny story time. So one time at band camp, we had an Amazon parrot whose name was Elliot. And Elliot, little did we know at the time, we ain't know yet, but Elliot was a stolen bird, y'all. We got him because my grandfather, which was my grandma's ex-husband at the time, went to Florida, and I guess the myth is that he won Elliot off of a poker game. The person put him up as collateral, whatever. He won him off a poker game. Okay, he brings him back home to my grandmother, and he gives Elliot to my grandma. Elliot, off rip, hated my grandma. He was a talking parrot. He used to be on a talk show, a radio talk show. So Elliot knew a plethora of words, okay? And he was a potty mouth, and he could not stand my grandma. So this one time at band camp, Elliot got the police called on us, y'all. This will be one of multiple Elliot stories that I tell y'all. But one time at band camp, Elliot got the police called on us when he first got brought to our house. Now, how, Stephanie? Because if you know anything about birds, then you know that you have to cover them up at night before they go to sleep. So when we would cover Elliot's cage, he would go to the bottom of the cage and he would say, "Help Elliot, save Elliot." And he would try to basically break out the cage and make these loud noises, etc. So because the bird was new, our neighbors didn't know at the time that we had gotten this bird. And we had this nosy ass neighbor named Sarah. Anyway, we'll talk about her later. But anyway, so Sarah knew that my grandmother did, foster care. She knew my grandmother did foster care. So because of that, she called the police, telling the police that there is a child named Elliot who's trapped and needs help and needs saving. So the police do what the police do. They come, they knock on the door, and they're like, "Hey, do you have any children in the home?" My grandma's like, "Yeah, I got a bunch. Take your pick." Like, what did they do? And they're like, "No, we got a report that one of the children is named Elliot, and the child is asking for help. So we just want to check on the children and make sure everybody is okay." Now, we're all standing at the door laughing because we're like, the child, Elliot, we don't have any kids named Elliot. My grandma's like, "There's no kids named Elliot here." But they're like, "Well, the report says that it was a child named Elliot screaming for help, so we just need to check with the kids." My grandma's like, "Our bird's name is Elliot. He talks." The police naturally do not believe her. They're like, "What?" So she's like, "Come on in. I'll show y'all." So she takes them over to Elliot's cage, y'all. She's like, "Elliot, talk." He won't talk. He won't say shit. He's just sitting there on his perch. He won't say nothing. She's trying to coerce him to talk. He won't. Y'all, finally, she slaps the cage, right? And as soon as she does, Elliot goes, "Help Elliot! Save Elliot!" And he starts fluttering around in his fucking cage. So the police are like, "Okay, we've seen everything that we need to see. It's okay, right?" And so they leave, and my grandmother is definitely still pissed off about Elliot. And yeah, y'all, that is how a parrot almost got my grandma arrested for child abuse, for kidnapping, abuse, and some other shit. But low key, it was just the bird. I miss that bird. Yeah, he died. One of our relatives got a hold of him, and he bit her, and she starved the bird to death. And no, I'm not proud of that. And I was very upset when I found out, because why would you do that? But anyway, neither here nor there. All right, love you. If you guys have any funny stories or relatable stories that you want to tell me, drop it in the comments. I don't mind if y'all talk to me. I promise I don't bite. I mean, I do. I just can't bite y'all because it's virtual. But if I could, I'd be on your ass like a rottweiler. Okay, catch y'all later.